This is a deeper listen from KEXP, the show where we talk with musicians about the thoughts and experiences that shape their music. I'm Emily Fox. Ibibio Sound Machine is an electronic group based in London that incorporates elements of African funk, disco, punk, and high-life music. Singer Eno Williams sings in both her Nigerian family's language of Ibibio as well as in English. Their music spreads messages of unity and bringing people together. And that theme is present on their most recent album, Pull the Rope. Here's Williams.
I mean, like the title track, Pull the Rope, it's kind of inviting us all to come together and try and have dialogue rather than be at war, and just try and get everyone together for us all be on the same page, and still the message of hope and still the message of being inclusive and bringing everyone together in the world.
Williams was born in London and is based there now, but she spent a lot of time in Nigeria growing up. I asked her about her upbringing and the Ibibio language. I also asked both her and Ibibio Sound Machine's producer, saxophone and keyboard player Max Grunhard, who we'll hear from later in the interview, about the stories behind some of the album's tracks. First, here's Williams.
Yeah, I grew up speaking Ibibio. I mean, that was sort of, we spoke English growing up at home, but we spoke Ibibio as well at home. And a lot of the stories I got told in Ibibio. And our first record was sort of kind of focused on a lot of the stories that I got told growing up as a child in Nigeria. There's a bit more English on this record because people always wanted to sing along to our songs in Ibibio when we, play the shows, and I always have to explain or give a backstory about what the songs are about. So this time around, we felt like maybe we should put a little bit more English just to be a bit more inclusive and have people be able to sing along to the songs as well.
And tell me more about your family. So how did you all end up in London?
So I was born in London. My mom spent a lot of time here. She was in school here in London. I was born in London. And then my grandmother came and then she took us back. I mean, the story is she took us back in a basket, but it's kind of an inside joke that we talk about at home. And we spent a lot of time with my grandmother in Nigeria. And then my mom came back to Nigeria, and then I spent pretty much my formative years out in Nigeria and absorbing all the culture and, pretty much living life out, and then came back to London to go to university. And I studied accounting and international business at university, but I carried on with music on the side and just gradually kind of evolved. I kept doing music, and then fast forward to 2013, I'd been, friends with Max and some of the other guys in the band, and we'd done other various projects, and we sort of started just talking about, singing in Ibibio, and then talking about the storytelling, and then that was born.
Can you tell me more about the track Mama Say? Is that dedicated to your mom, Eno?
Yes, it is actually. So that's a funny one because my grandma and mom always said, there was a saying they always said to us growing up. It says, honor your parents so it will be well with you. And it was kind of an underlying thing. When you did something at home, you hear Mama say, make her honor so honor your mom kind of thing. So, but the pidgin, we say, Mama say, make her honor So it's paying homage to her and my grandmother and to all the moms around the world anyway, because we heard that so much growing up at home. And then one time we're sitting in the studio and she sent me a message, and then there was a little clip about something, and then he took me back to that little line. And then I just started humming, Mama say, make her honor. And then we're playing in the studio on the day. And then the line just came, Mama say, yeah. And pretty much the song was born. And so we decided, well, that's going to be paying homage to moms around the world, to be honest. Mama say, make her honor. Mama say, make her honor. Mama say, make her honor.
Another song I want to talk about is the opening lines in the song Them Say. You have lines like stranger to the land,
Stranger to the land,
and streets are full of faces, family from the past.
streets are full of faces, family from the past.
Tell me more about this song and those opening lines.
So that song, I mean, it's kind of, there's a lot going on. It talks about, people coming to a place for the first time and people being from all different parts of the world. And it talks a lot about just, going to somewhere as a stranger pretty much and trying to find your place, trying to find your feet, trying to acclimatize, trying to get used to the culture. And I think, there was a little bit of that when we came back, to England, my sister and I. And we'd grown up in Nigeria and experienced a culture, and then we had to come over here, and it was kind of a different culture and just learning to adapt and, just get used to life in a different place and, a different space. And I guess I speak for a lot of people that, go to places, either back and forth between here and Africa or Africa to here, just being strangers in a land and just trying to find their feet. And basically we're just saying that, this is who we are, like it or live it. This is who we are, pretty much. Them say who we are, not so we are. Them say who we are, this is who we are. Them say who we are, not so we are. Them say who we are, this is who we are.
In your song, Political Incorrect had some lines that really stood out to me. In the song, you sing, politically correct, anti-social media.
Anti-social media, we don't talk anymore.
And then I love the line, when you point one finger at me, the other four are pointing back at you.
But when you point one finger at me, the other four are pointed back at you.
And I had to literally point my finger and get that visual where yeah, you're right. The other fingers are pointing back at me.
Technically, it's three fingers and a thumb.
yeah. Technically, yeah.
Well,
three fingers.
it kind of goes back to roots and a lot of poetic sayings and storytelling in African language. Things kind of carry quite a heavy meaning. So if you're pointing a finger at somebody, in other words, don't be judgmental. Look at yourself as well, because if you're pointing, you could just be just the same as that person. So it's kind of that general, idea going on that, don't throw stones at glass
people in glass
buildings.
houses shouldn't throw
people in
stones,
glass houses shouldn't throw stones, that kind of thing. Because you would hear that, rampantly said, don't, if you're pointing your finger at me, remember the other three are pointing back at you. So, look at yourself as well before you look at me, kind of thing.
When you point one finger at me, the other four are pointing back at you. It's what we chose to be close, but now we don't know what to do.
You've all been releasing music for 10 years now. I'm curious if you've observed how music can. I think so. The first single was 2014, I think.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's a long time. It's a really long time. Wow, they say you don't realize how time flies, right?
I know. And I'm curious if you've observed during that time, how music can bring people together through your music. I feel like that's a theme throughout your music, but as you've been a band and you've observed audiences or fans, have you observed the power of how music can bring people together during the 10 years you've been Ibibio Sound Machine?
Definitely, yeah. The gigs are probably our favourite thing, aren't they?
Definitely,
when we play live, and there's always a great exchange of energy with people, whoever's in the room. That's really what makes. I think that's a big part of what makes it special to be a musician.
Yeah, I remember when we came back just after COVID, the first gig we played was actually
everyone had to sit
in Manchester at band. It was a band on the wall event.
It was an outdoor gig in a car park.
In a car park, they'd had to make this makeshift outdoor venue just so that we could get moving again, get music out and about. And we all had to sit down, and I was thinking, my goodness, the
audience had to sit down.
The audience had to sit down, beg your pardon. And it just felt like, how are we going to do a show with people sitting down? So we started the show, and then you could feel people's energy wanting to get up and dance. And the stewards were like, okay, no, you have to sit down for this one. You have to sit down for this one. And then halfway through the set, I was like, oh yeah, you can get up and dance if you want. And I was like, oh no, I wasn't supposed to do that. And everyone, you could feel the energy. It seemed like we'd all been bottled up for so long. And then just that moment, it just felt like, oh my goodness, wow. It felt like we were back, everyone coming together to actually be able to dance, to listen to music, to be outside again. It was just such a surreal, like really special moment, because it's just like it was.
And the security guards gave up, and
they gave up. Honestly, they couldn't.
Because it was like COVID restrictions or something.
Yeah, it was. It was during COVID restrictions.
Well, people were still wearing masks.
Well, it was the end of COVID restrictions.
It was like the end
of it. That was definitely a moment where you realised the power of music. It's just at the end of COVID, when everyone was so happy to be out again. It was great, that's
amazing.
It's when it's taken away from you that you realise how important it is. The world needs music to sort of, combat the negative vibes in the world. There has to be positive vibes as well. So it's very important.
Yeah.
Exactly. KEXP is all about music discovery. And I'm curious if each of you can give us a music recommendation, a song that has either meant a lot to you somewhere along your life that stuck with you, or a song that you're just really loving right now.
Well, I quite like some guys I know in South London have a band called Wooloo. I don't know if you've heard of them. They've just put out a couple of singles, and I really like their stuff. It's sort of very South London. It's kind of like encapsulates the darkness, but also with a really cool message, really cool sound. Daylight Song by Wooloo. That's my recommendation.
I've been listening to a lot of Khruangbin lately. I kind of like their song Texas Sun.
You say you like the wind blowing through your hair. Well, come on, roll with me till the sun goes down. Texas sun. Texas sun.
Another one is Nilufer Yanya. You probably must play her stuff on KEXP, I'm sure. Oh, she's another young London artist who's very good. Yeah, she just put out a track. It's called Like I Say.
'Cause I feel like all my friends, they don't read my mind. The minute I'm not in control, I'm tearing up inside. Fill up on the feeling, fill up on the light. If I'm falling out with you, 'cause if you could hold my hand just to feel alive in the early morning shoes.
That was Eno Williams and Max Grunhard of Ibibio Sound Machine. The new album, Pull the Rope, was released on May 3rd. That was A Deeper Listen. Before you go, please subscribe to this podcast, rate it, and review it. Those little things go a long way in helping spread the word that this podcast exists and is worthy of other people's time. And KEXP is also a publicly funded radio station based in Seattle, Washington. Publicly funded means the majority of our operating budget comes from listeners, so you help support shows like A Deeper Listen. You can help support this show financially by becoming an amplifier at KEXP and giving $6 a month to help support the show. You can do so at kexp.org/deeper. But most of all, thanks for taking a deeper listen.